If your business's sales and marketing infrastructure looks a little bit like this, then this video here is for you. And to be fair, 95% of businesses out there have something very similar to that, so you're not alone. However, if you are looking at perhaps improving it and making it look something similar to what we use and as well our clients use, like this, then again, this video here is for you. Now, I'm fairly certain that most of you out there have seen or understand that there's CRM tools out there like HubSpot, Go High Level, Pipedrive. Now that system there is for you. And most often than not, it's the systems that overwhelm business owners to even take any action. So hopefully within this video here, not only will we be able to share with you and show you exactly how things look for ourselves, but more importantly, where you can get started and how you can move from this, which is non-existent, to something robust and something that most of our clients are taking market share of, simply because they have a customer-first approach. Let's have a look quickly on why businesses are like this. Now, again, they mostly have, really good sales channels. So whether it be word of mouth, which most of our clients tend to have before coming through to us, or they may also have really organic, really strong social media presence, or they could be even running ads, whether it be AdWords or Facebook or Instagram ads. They actually have a good sales traffic avenue, but they're not capitalizing on it. So again, because they have no systems, they have no visibility or have no understanding where these leads are within the pipeline or within that sales journey. Now, again, because you have no CRM system, you then have to you then have to follow up manually. Now, because that takes time, and because, let's say, for example, you have an inbox there that has a whole heap of emails, but you just don't know where they are or where this lead is in this pipeline stage. Secondly, you have to manually follow up with the emails or manually follow up with the SMSs, and it gets really convoluted. Add on top of that, the work that you need to deliver, you can see how this becomes somewhat too hard basket, not going to touch it, move on, or keep the existing systems that they have, which again is non-existent. Secondly, you can't see where they are within the pipeline stage. So you've got a really warm lead, but because you haven't been able to take notes or have any recordings or any history of that conversation, then that person who was originally hot falls by the wayside and eventually moves on to your competitor. As well, there's external factors that are used to be blamed on. Hey, ads don't work, or my network isn't there, or I just don't have the right tools around me specifically. Well, that's not true, because again, you've got a really strong traffic channel. You also have a strong, because if your business has been around for decades, say, there's a reason why you have been. So we need to tap into as to why that business isn't scaling, and most often than not, it's because they lack a sales and marketing infrastructure to support them. And last but not least, because there's no systems or lack thereof, then really you're sort of stuck in that sort of level where if you were to start a business, there's obviously a reason why you started a business, whether it be to scale and to hit specific numbers, or better yet, to have an exit strategy. And none of that can be achieved because you have no systems in place. So let's explain exactly what we do for ourselves, but more importantly for our clients. Now, we have this been built underway for probably Australia's largest or leading education company. And usually it's the other way around. Small to medium businesses eventually take these systems after these large organizations have implemented and thus taken market share. But we've been building this out for close to 3 years for our small to medium clients. And they've been really able to not only take market share, but really focus in on building the business. Now, if we have a look at this here, not only do we have a traffic source, whether it be through AdWords, Facebook, and Instagram, but we have a way on taking that lead over to a landing page. Now, the most important bit here is you may have 1,000, you may have 1 million followers on Facebook and Instagram, but if those platforms die off, then that vanity metric becomes irrelevant. There is no way, even to this day, these platforms won't go down, but again, followers are only a vanity metric. It's only until you own the data that you can then go back to them and continuously hit them from a marketing perspective, basically for free. So our goal with our clients is to get them from these platforms and over to a system that they can then own the data. Once you have name, email, and phone number, you can then market to them on a continuous basis. But not only that, from this landing page, we'll have it pixeled, or what Meta calls it now, a data set, where we're able to capture the individuals that come across here and retarget them. So Facebook has the ability to, and usually a really good agency, or if you're able to run marketing for yourself, has a really strong ability to get in front of people who've shown interest. Now, if you're able to get in front of them because life gets in the way or had a family emergency, that's okay, because we can retarget them through ads. But basically, once they've entered their details, We now own that. Now we have a number of ways on, again, dominating the market. Because what we've had, especially with our clients, statistically, prior to them coming up, they take between 3 to 5 days to actually acknowledge that lead. Now, if it's a warm lead or if it's a hot lead, those 3 to 5 days is an eternity. Because if you have a look at this here, once our customers and our clients implemented our system, immediately, as soon as they filled in the name, email, and phone number, their leads, they immediately get an email and a text message thanking them. Now, that's the thing. 3 to 5 days just to acknowledge and say thank you for your interest. We're already ahead of the game. Instantly, a thank you email goes out with a call to action, which is a link to a booking page for our clients to whether it be jump onto a Zoom call or to a Google Meets or have an on-site appointment with our client. Also, we have a text message that goes out as well. Now, we've had so many fun conversations with our clients because their leads are saying, well, hang on, what are you doing 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning responding back to my my interest by filling out the form or landing on their landing page? And obviously they have that conversation and say, no, it's just a sales process. Most people know that, but still, you still get the odd 1 or 2 people that have come through and gone, what are you doing up at that time? Which is really cool to see. So again, that first impression, customer first approach, and being able to get in front of that lead while they're hot, 95% of the businesses out there are getting left behind. That's only the start. Now, if you have a look at this, what we then do once they've submitted their details is then send them to what's called a booking scheduler page. Now in here, it has a calendar. And that calendar is based on the business owner's availability and it will gives the lead the option to choose a time that best suits them. Now that's a win-win scenario because that allows that business owner to free up time for that quotation and versus, also that lead's ability to go, well, hang on, I'm not home till 5 o'clock. There's a 5 o'clock or 5:30 slot there. Great. I can then get Andrew out there or I can get Cameron out there, which is great. But also don't forget, hey, as soon as they've submitted the details, we're going to hit them. We're going to thank them again for booking an on-site appointments or jumping onto a video call by sending off an SMS with time and date, thanking them for coming through. And here is the link as well. So we'll shoot off reminders 24 hours beforehand, an hour beforehand, and 10 minutes beforehand. And as you can see here, all these touch points, and that person still, or the competition still hasn't acknowledged that interest or that request. So that there is also a game changer. But say, for example, that they haven't booked in that call with them or they haven't booked in the on-site appointments, well, great. That's totally fine. Let's shoot off an SMS and let's shoot off an email reminding them. Maybe life got in the way, maybe they had a family emergency. But it's, again, within this system here to follow up at the right times to let them know, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. We know there's something there that we can solve with our product or with our service. So come and book in that time. Great. Now, because of that, once they've gone through, and you'll see within that sales pipeline, let's have a look up here. This is what the pipeline looks like. Now, if it's going to load, hopefully it'll eventually load, but you can see where they are in that journey or within that sales cycle, sorry. So new lead, contacted, booked appointments, follow up, and obviously sale, you can see exactly where that lead is as part of that journey. So say, for example, you have a time limit where it says from prospect to sale, it takes about a month. That's great because you now have numbers that you can work towards to then either optimize that and bring it down from 4 weeks to 2 weeks, or you can invest more in the team to know that, hey, for every lead that comes in within that month, the next month effectively is when that sale will come through. So you can scale based on numbers and based on figures versus scaling on gut feel, which 99% of the it just doesn't work. Great. So as an example, let's say, for example, that they do not show. It's just, again, life gets in the way or they had an emergency that they go through. That's okay, because we're going to remind them. We're going to send a 5-part email sequence, not only explaining about what that business does, the features, but also let's speak about some of the testimonials, the client success stories, some of the objections that could be or has been told over many a time to allow them to have that objection handled. So by the time they come back into the system and they speak to Andrew or they speak to Cameron, all they're talking about is what matters most, and that's that project or that job and the vision that they have, which is great. Lastly, say, for example, that it's a long-term nurture, it's a no, but maybe later. Great, all good and well. Let's then put them into an email newsletter list where every single month we shoot off a reminder. Hey, this is what we've developed. Here's another client case study. Here's a new feature that we've been able to implement. So just touching base with them on a monthly basis. And in this example, one of our clients, they have a particular cybersecurity certification that they offer. And the business owner at the time, whilst they were quite interested, for whatever reason they didn't commit. But because they were part of that newsletter monthly outreach, I think they said, let's follow up in 12 months. They came back into the system, booked a call, signed up, and that was, I think, after 3 months. So you can see by constantly staying front and center, still nurturing them with value, you're able to get them back into the system, reactivate, and then make that sale. Or, by the way, while that competition of yours is still waiting to, finding time to get in front of that initial request. And that's the reason why a lot of the businesses out there find that the excuses that these leads aren't qualified, no, they are qualified. It just took them 3 to 5 days to get back to them. So that is that there. Again, just more screenshots here of like, this is a 5-part email sequence that welcomes them in. This is actually for a pool building company that we have, and we educate the lead that comes in. Fiberglass pools versus concrete pools, the pros, the cons, the benefits, what type of home, best suits these type of builds. And because Cameron's out there educating them, by the time they speak to the lead or by the time they get in front of the lead, they've already been well educated. Value's been given, and competing between company A that hasn't even got back to them versus Cameron company B, they're more inclined to work with them because they had that customer first approach. Customer experience has been on point. And again, they have systems around them to support that business and that lead within their pipeline. So that there is a build. There is nothing else here that you need to learn or need to know. You just need to identify, does your CRM system, if the one that you're looking at, or maybe you've signed up to a free trial, offers it? If it doesn't, then down in the comment section, please let me know. Also in the description, there will be a link to my calendar. I'd love to have a 20-minute chat with you just to see where you are. And perhaps if you do have a CRM system, we can put you in the right direction. But if your system looks like this here, just remember, as soon as your competition starts to buy in and build out infrastructure that focuses on the customer, and you stay like this, then unfortunately, you're going to get left behind. So yeah, hope this video helps. Hope this has given you more insight as to what these systems look like, how sales and marketing is such an important aspect of the business. But with the right systems, not only are you able to focus on that 20% that yields at 80%, but you're able to really build and scale out the business to achieve what you initially built that business for. Whether it be just to have cash flow type business where you move yourself from the business and you allow your team to thrive, or if you have an extra strategy out there that you want to be able to achieve, having these systems in here will be more lucrative to anyone out there looking to buy. All right, hope this helps. I'll see you in the next video.